you have another company, ASTS, which is hitting through the roof, which is hitting through the sky. Like it's like talking to God now.
Is that ASTS you're referring to?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, ASTS SpaceMobile. So this is a new allocation in my own portfolio. So I'm at that stage where I'm still doing my
Interesting.
initial due diligence,
Yeah.
and I'm going to say, um, like this, if you thought Rocket Lab was risky, this is another level. This is incredibly risky. And
Yeah.
I suppose it's somewhat coincidental. We happen to be talking about two space companies, but they are really interesting companies, right? I'm not just a space guy. I invest in lots of other areas of technology and innovation. But who are ASTS and what do they do? So like if you go out with your mobile phone and if you're in like a city or something, you've usually got 5G these days in most big cities. And if you go out into the say the deep countryside, you might get down to like 2G, you might lose your connection. So ASTS are trying to help mobile operators fix that problem. And what they're essentially doing, to keep it real simple, is they're putting mobile cell towers, they propose putting mobile cell towers in space, in orbit. So they're not a launch provider, they're buying launch capacity from companies like SpaceX, maybe from Rocket Lab in the future. They've got a vision to put over 100
Mm,
very large satellite arrays into orbit, up to 60 over the next 2 years.
mm.
And then those 60 satellites working in partnership with companies like Vodafone, AT&T, Verizon. They'll work in partnership together. So if I say I'm a Vodafone user in the UK, if I say go to, if I'm flying to Edinburgh this afternoon for the Edinburgh Festival, so I would usually lose connection if I'm on the flight. But with once Vodafone are partnered with ASTS, then I'll still have my cell phone connection, notwithstanding flight mode and
Oh,
getting in trouble with the air stewards. I'll still have my 5G, my 4G at least connection
okay. Something like
because it's
Starlink, is it? Something like Starlink.
yes. Now there's sort of controversy and there's arguments between the SpaceX Starlink community and the ASTS community. And actually, I own both. So I've got a private stake in
Okay.
SpaceX. Um, and I've been having this debate with my Wall Street Wildlife podcast co host for the last many months. But
Mm,
finally, I came around to the idea, and now I'm a shareholder of both. So the criticism from the ASTS community is that Starlink, Elon's talking a good game with Starlink, but actually, it's the technology of their current generation satellites really is only going to allow like text messaging and very low bandwidth connectivity, won't be able to make phone calls, won't be able to have like high data 4G, 5G connections. Whereas in theory, the design of the ASTS satellites and the way they operate in conjunction with the frequency owned by the Vodafones and the AT&Ts means that your cell phone should be able to have a 4G connection from a like at sea, like a huge geographical area. And so the argument is that the technology is much better than Starlink's, although they're yet to prove it. And so I said this is really risky. Like you can't, it's a pre-revenue company. So you can't really do any financial analysis on this company. All you can look at really is like the burn rate, how much money they're spending, and how much cash they have on hand and their debt and some things like that. You can't analyze revenue in any meaningful way because they don't really have any revenue. And then you can't have a valuation multiple because there's no like denominator in the valuation. So, so it's a story investment.